components of human resource management. Job analysis is a micro-level aspect of HRM planning. It involves two aspects: developing a job description for positions in the organization and describing the skills, tools, education, etc. that would best succeed in this role. This second aspect is called job specification. To do this, HRMs focus on the tasks performed by the position, performance standards, and the equipment and personnel this position interacts within the organization. Job description and specification provide the information needed for all other HR tasks. These form the criteria for selecting, training, compensating personnel, and firing them. Hence, the 5 components of human resource management system provide a framework of the large guided scope of managing talent. Let's look at the 5 components in some details. Talent acquisition is more than recruitment. It involves attracting potential applicants from within the organization and outside. Internal recruitment, that is recruiting candidates within the company, has pros and cons. Internal recruits are familiar with the organization, culture, and have an easily identifiable and proven track record. This also reduces turnover, as this opportunity serves as a career opportunity and further enhances employees' motivation. However, new ideas and skills are not added to the organization, and the company does not have the potential to shift its image or culture, perhaps in terms of change. External recruitment can bring in new ideas and skills, shift the organizational culture, but is generally seen a riskier strategy. New employees are harder to verify and assess, as well as determine fit for the organization. External talent acquisition may be more expensive as well. Selection of employees is a difficult process, not only in that it is difficult to find the right candidate for the job, but more frequently, HRM needs to take into account a holistic view of how an employee will affect the organization. This includes what hard skills, technical knowledge, abilities, and experience a person has, including educational qualifications, also soft skills like communication, writing ability, competencies such as interpersonal skills, people management skills, emotional and social intelligence, and appropriate body language. These soft skills often make people effective at their job and stable within an organization. Furthermore, the HRM needs to think bigger, such as the overall culture of the firm and where this candidate stands in relation to that culture. Is there a strategic need to reinforce the same culture or push the organizational culture in a new direction? This leads to the potential of a candidate. Where will this candidate be in 5 years? Is this person overqualified for the firm's needs and will leave? These are important questions to ask and consider during the selection process. Selecting qualified candidates requires varying selection tools such as interviews, reference checks, referrals, and background checks or security clearances in the case of government positions or private companies associated with government positions. Think of the new technology, apps, and web services you learned in the past year, and you will realize that skills must constantly be honed, upgraded, and replaced with new competencies. This brings us to training and development. Training process occurs in 4 phases. Number 1, who needs to learn what skills? Number 2, what are the goals and performance measures for the training? Number 3, what kind of activities will be used to train the employees? Will these activities be conducted on site, in the office, or elsewhere? Number 4, how will you evaluate the performance of employees pre- and post-training or with other organization-wide standards of performance? Training evaluation tells you the impact of training on learners and change. In the Kirkpatrick model of training evaluation, reactions of learners towards the training process are taken into account, along with the extent of knowledge transferred, behavioral change, and improvement in job performance, and overall results of the training for the organization. The Kirkpatrick model of training evaluation consists of 4 steps: reaction, learning, behavior, and results. Performance appraisal is one of the most important aspects of human resource management. It serves 2 purposes: administrative and developmental. For administrative purpose, it is necessary for gathering information for managers and employees, assessing current performance for compensation, promotion, and dismissal, and potentially providing legal justifications for management response in court on the basis of those decisions. For developmental purpose, it is used to plan changes in training, learning, experience amongst employees. This is feedback for managers who implemented plans in the past, who should do the appraisal. While managers and direct supervisors are the traditional appraisers of performance, companies are shifting to 360-degree appraisals or using multiple sources to provide feedback. This includes peers and team members, subordinates, customers, both traditional external and internal customers who depend on an employee's output, and self-evaluations of an employee's performance. Each appraiser then brings a different perspective to the appraisal process, appraising different facets of performance. The result is a performance appraisal that reflects how an employee impacts the whole organization. Giving feedback can be a complex and challenging process, especially when performance is poor. However, with some effective techniques, the process could be much a pleasant and fruitful one. Let's now look at rewarding performance and the 6 elements of total rewards that collectively define an organization's strategy to attract, motivate, retain, and engage employees. Compensation. For the services rendered, for example, time, effort, skills, the employer pays its employees. This includes both fixed and variable pay tied to performance levels. Benefits are programs an employer uses to supplement the cash compensation employees receive. These include income protection, health, savings, and retirement programs to provide security for employees and their families. Work-life effectiveness is a specific set of organizational policies, practices, and programs, plus a philosophy that actively supports efforts to help employees achieve success at both work and home. Recognition. Formal or informal programs that acknowledge or give special attention to employee actions, efforts, behavior, or performance, and support business strategy by reinforcing accomplishments that contribute to organizational success. Performance management. The alignment of organizational, team, and individual efforts towards the achievement of business goals and organizational success. Performance management includes establishing expectations, skills demonstration, assessment, feedback, and continuous improvement. Talent development provides the opportunity and tools for employees to advance their skills and competencies in both their short and long-term careers. Several factors affect employee compensation. Internal factors from within the organization include wage policy, the value of the job to the organization, the employee's personal value to the firm, and the organization's budget for a given job. Wage policy can be a strategic decision. For example, startup companies offer low wages and the opportunity to grow with the company. External factors which affect the labor market include general unemployment levels, area cost of living or wages, collective bargaining and union requirements, and legal requirements such as hazard pay and working hour limitations. The last component of human resource management is managing labor relations. Fair employment practices stipulate employment and compensation on the basis of merit, skills, experience, and performance. Other demographic factors should not be considered as criterion for exclusion and should be treated with respect and sensitivity. The Tripartite Alliance for Fair Employment Practices works with the employer organizations, unions, and the government to create awareness and facilitate the adoption of fair employment practices. Tripartism is a key competitive advantage for Singapore, underpinning its economic competitiveness, harmonious labor management relations, and overall progress of the nation. 3 main entities, namely Ministry of Manpower, the National Trade Union Congress, and the Singapore National Employers Federation, form the tripartism framework. The laws that specify basic terms and conditions of employment for employees and workers can be found in the Singapore Employment Act.